What do you do when you have a bad day?
Sometimes, you know what? Let's be honest. You know, because I can sit here as some motivational fucking speaker and
like,
say, how
gotta
good it
keep
is, gotta
going.
keep going.
Yeah.
There's days where I'm just
The
like,
bad days make the good ones
that's
good.
right. Here's the thing, and how many days are there in a year?
365.
365. So, of those 365 days in a year, do you expect to have at least 30 bad days?
Yesterday was one of those days for me where I was just like, just go to sleep.
Do you think you can truly be completely zen in stressful situations? You're going to have those 30 bad days. Like, you have to take the good with the bad.
Those 2 meetings really pissed me off. And I'm going to call it.
And I think it's part of the process as far as you dealing with it and just going, cool, it's just one of these days, man. Like, we're going to have one of these days, but we've still got 11 months of really good fucking days.
I am tired, man.
Are you?
Yeah.
Should we reschedule this podcast? Do you want to get your pillow, have a nap? Why don't you have a 15-minute nap?
15-minute nap.
Yeah, I'll
I just
kick it off for the next 15
I
minutes.
just slept for 7 hours.
Well, it's dark. It's good morning.
Good morning.
It's for us, it's good morning. Nighttime out. It's still dark outside. Here bright and early at the podcast studio. $1 Million Days.
It's one of the lesser things about Melbourne, isn't it? Like, it's not that early. It's 7:10.
Yeah, and it's
The
still dark.
sun should be up.
It's not.
But we're in winter. And I want to tell you about my day yesterday. What do you do when you have a bad day?
It's hard. Sometimes, you know what? Let's be honest. You know, because I can sit here as some motivational fucking speaker and say, how
gotta
good it is, gotta keep going.
Yeah.
There's days where I'm just
The
like,
bad days make the good ones
that's
good.
right. That's right. But there's days where I'm just like irritated. I think irritated's the best word for myself. I get irritated. I get easily annoyed. Might be a bit snappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want you to go into your story because I'll probably follow on to that as well.
Yesterday was one of those days for me where I was just like, just go to sleep. Like, just go to sleep, and then hopefully when you wake up, everything's sorted. Dude, you know when things just stack and you think, oh, this is the third thing? You know that whole saying, like, things come in threes. You're like, this is the third thing, nothing else going to go wrong after this. And then like 3 more things. So I was having a shitty day yesterday, a bunch of stuff going wrong. And then I had like a couple of bad client meetings, and I was like, you know what? It was 6 p.m.-ish. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to call it. Just going to call it. I'm going to pack up my shit. I've got a couple of things. I'll do them when I get home. And that's it. Like, that's it. It's been shitty already. Those 2 meetings really pissed me off. And I'm going to call it. So I grab all my shit. I pack up. I walk out. I jump in my car. And to me already, that's like, fuck, today's been a shitty day. Do you know what I mean? And then I jump in my car. I turn my car on. Engine lights on. I think, serious, man?
Really?
Like, fucking hell. Like,
And a relatively new car too.
yeah, relatively new car. And I think, whatever, man. I'll call these pricks tomorrow. And take off. Start driving. Get halfway down Vic Ave to notice something flapping on my window. My windscreen. What the fuck is that? Fine. I'm like, really? Like, I've got a permit. Do you know what I mean? So there's a fine on my window. So I get out, grab the fine. I think, all right, whatever, just throw the fine to the side. Let me go and just get home, right? So drive, go to Coles, grab some rolls. I can make some dinner. And get home.
Stove blows up.
Get home. Chuck chicken thighs on the Weber. Go inside. I'm getting some stuff ready. Go outside. Weber runs out of gas.
No, it doesn't. This is a made-up story. I don't believe this.
You can't make this stuff up.
I don't believe it
I
at all.
swear to you, Weber runs out of gas. And I forgot the cleaners were coming that day. I read the message as Tuesday, but it was Monday. And they came in and they'd cleaned, so I wasn't going to sit there cooking chicken thighs on my freshly wiped down stove. Anyway, so this, that, and then I'm like, you know what? Do you bake at all?
Never.
Never baked in your whole life? You should try it. It's very satisfying.
I want to. I will. I will.
Anyway,
Give me your recipe.
I'll let me perfect it first.
Okay.
And then I'm like, all right, you know what? I felt like something sweet. So I'm like, I'm just going to make some custard. I usually make custard. It's just eggs and cream.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have it with a bit of honey. It's like really nice and clean.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll make some custard. You know, while I cook the chicken thighs in the transfer them all to the oven, blah, 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 all this jazz. I'm like, the oven's on, I might as well. Like, so I eat. The food was good. And then I put everything into the oven for the custard. And I recall looking at the custard and saying, 5 more minutes and I'll take it out. Right? And then I got distracted. And then next thing I knew, I was in the shower. And then in the shower, I remembered the custard, dude. And I fucking ran at it, made a mess, ruined my whole apartment, called the cleaners again, come back, ruined everything, burnt the custard. And then I thought, what's the common denominator here? Me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like everything I'm touching is falling apart today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm just like...
Took the common denominator out.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know what? Nah, just go to bed.
Yeah.
Then I just went and lay down and fell asleep.
Good. Nice and early at that time? What time was that?
9:30.
Yeah, it's pretty early. It's pretty early.
Yeah.
Got a good sleep now? Feeling nice and fresh?
Yeah.
No, you're not. Still feel the same? Do you still feel irritated right now?
I still have to solve half of these problems.
Mm.
None of them got fixed. So I've got to go get the gas or the weather. I've still got to go call City of Port Phillip and say, hey, are you guys blind?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Got a fucking permit.
Here's my permit. And go contest that fine. I've still got the other stuff I still need to sort out.
Mm.
But it was kind of like fuck, this is not going to stop. Like one after another, after another, after another. And I'm like, man, like, but then it's like, you must be doing something.
Mm.
I like to frame it in that way because then it gives you some level of control.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, it always is. It always is.
Yeah, yeah. Like what? Is it just all a coincidence?
Yeah.
Like,
here's the thing. And how many days are there in a year?
365.
365. So of those 365 days in a year, do you expect to have at least 30 bad days?
I shared this with you too.
That's right. But this is but just to reiterate it, like for other people listening as well.
It's more,
so like if you're going to have those 30 bad days, like you have to take the good with the bad. Like how ignorant are you or arrogant to think that every single day is going to be an amazing day? You know, it's going to happen. I think it's part of the process as far as you dealing with it and just going, cool, it's just one of these days, man. Like I'm going to have one of these days, but we've still got 11 months of really good fucking days. Or you're going to have 3 months of okay days and then the rest are going to be really, really good. But it's easy to say that post the day or post that moment or during that moment. It's really easy to say it. It's another thing when you're going through one of those 30 days or 40 days or 50 days, whatever it is, to then ground yourself and go, okay, well, let's take a step back and let's look at this. You know, for me, I had nothing pisses me off more when I'm very protective of my time, you know. So this has been something I've been really obsessed with over the last few years. And when I'm at home and like me, this business owner, when I'm at home and I'm copying work calls and emails and stuff like that, it tends to irritate me a bit, right? Especially lately. I don't have to answer them, but when I'm still getting them and getting bombarded with them, they irritate me. And it happened on Sunday. And I had this one bloke, he kept messaging me, right? And he's like, blah, 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 blah. I said, yes, don't. I actually responded, which I normally don't, but I did because I was able to. And I responded, said, listen, it's happening on this day. Like, relax. Okay, speak soon. See you Monday. But then he kept going and going and going. And then my message, I ended up getting pretty frustrated with it. And I said, listen, if you persist with this message, it'll be the last time we fucking talk. All right, it'll be the last time. All right, I fucking told you when this is happening. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Anyway, and then he persisted again after that, and I blocked his number. But still, that got me in an irritated state. You know, I was at the park with my kids. I should have been playing with them or doing whatever with them. And for those 5 minutes that I was copying these messages back and forth, I'm like, fuck, that took me away from what does bring me peace. But still, like, I got irritated. I got annoyed in that moment. honestly, I feel I don't know what it's been like for you, but the last 5 months have just been hectic. You know, I've had the busiest start to the year. I've been working in the business more than ever. And the funny thing is, I've pushed back into a CEO role and I've been working in the business more than I ever have before. And we've had some key staff away. I've had some movements that we've had to make internally and stuff like that. So I think that had to happen for me to get through this period of time. We just got a couple of key projects that we need to finish. And I feel for the last 5 months, I just haven't had a break. Like I haven't had a couple of days where I can go, like even when we went to Vegas, like that wasn't relaxing for me. That whole trip. There were times, obviously, where we got to chill out and have some fun. But in the back of my mind was all the shit going on back at home. And sometimes I find it difficult to switch off from that moment. And even last night when I was walking home, like I walked out of here around 5:45, probably not long before you. And before I walked in the door, like I had that level of irritation. And before I walked in the door, I was like, cool, my family don't deserve this here right now. They're just going to be happy to see me. I'm not going to walk in there with attitude. I'm not going to walk in with, fuck, today's been hard. It's like, no, cool, walk in. Hey, everyone, how are you? Like game face, but from a different side. And that helped. Like I was glad I was able to take that moment before I walked through the door to put my shit aside and then be present when I was at home as well. But still, it doesn't stop me from getting irritated. And I don't know if you truly can. I coach strategies and tell things about that, but what do you think about that? Do you think you can truly be completely zen in stressful situations? You know, you had a whole series of events that happened yesterday. The ticket, the this. For me, sometimes...
The worst one was the custard. Out of everything.
But sometimes, does it also get to the point with that where you just laugh? Because I've had that too. Yeah, not that one, but I've had that too, where it's just like, you're just like, this is comical now. All the shit going on.
No, I didn't laugh yesterday, but I go to the osteo.
Yep.
To get my arm sorted. And I was talking to the girl. She's the osteo is a female. And I was talking to her and she's like, you know, you work a lot, blah, blah, blah. She's like, but you don't seem, she's like, do you get stressed? And I was like, yeah. She's like, you don't seem like the sort of person that gets stressed. Like every time I see you, you're kind of just like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, every time I get really stressed, I just remind myself that you're going to die and none of this can matter. Like zoom out far enough and none of this shit matters. Like, you know what I mean? The client, the car, the ticket, the custard. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like
you won't even think about this in 10 months' time.
It does not matter. Now. Like your time here is now. It's limited. You're going to be buried one day. People are not going to remember your name. That's it. It's like,
I'll remember this podcast. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I'll all be subscribed.
You know, the state of the internet's about to change.
Oh, no.
No, like a lot. Like a lot. Websites are about to change. I actually made a video about this yesterday.
Yeah.
And I don't know if YouTube's going to be a thing.
Yeah, right. Well, that's big. That's a big call based off what you said even like last week.
Yeah.
And YouTube's, you think it's going to be the biggest platform?
Well, I think so. YouTube actually. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The internet's going to have two sides. It's going to have the information side, and then it's going to have the side that humans want to consume. Do you know what I mean? So it's like this podcast might live on, but like an AI is never going to consume this podcast. Yep. It'll just read the transcript in a second and understand what happened in the whole episode and say they're talking about me. You know what I mean? But the state of the whole internet is going to change forever. I don't know if this will live on.
Who knows? Who knows? But the information will be there. But you shouldn't take the risk because Robby doesn't know everything. So don't take the risk, and you should subscribe nonetheless because many of you listen, but are you subscribed?
That's correct.
So that's the question. So back to it.
But yeah, so do I get frustrated? All the time.
Yeah, I think so too. And when you have high pressure job as well, or position or role, it comes with the territory too. So I think there's a level of embracement with that. You have to embrace that this is going to happen. This is going to be a challenge. It's not going to ever be easy. If you want extraordinary things, they're generally going to require high pressure situations, and for you to be able to get through them and navigate them. You know?
Yeah, but don't you think there is a level of running your business that has developed you into a human, like that you probably wouldn't be had you not been put in those positions?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Don't
Without a
think-
doubt.
I was-
Sometimes I look at it too, though, and I'm like, surely there is an easier way to win at this game.
What's winning?
Let's say from from financial, but
It's
also
monetary.
so I'd say there'd be that level for sure. Winning, like business is money. Like that's why we all in it, to make the money. So yeah, I'd say there'd have to be a financial aspect to it. And then there'd be the satisfaction of the delivery of your product or service or whatever it might be as well. And if it does create change in the world or anything like that, or if it's purely there just to print notes.
So monetary and fulfillment.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a level of both of those. In my industry anyway, you know, we get a high level of fulfillment when we're delivering projects and handing over keys to people for their projects.
Does that go away?
No, I love doing it for people that are really grateful. You know, when I get a great, like I got a couple of clients now, they just, like everything we do, like thank you. Like they pay me and they thank me. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just so grateful for everything we do. They see that there's so many moving parts. They appreciate the difficulty and the nature of the jobs and all that stuff. Like they appreciate it. And for those people, like I would build forever. It's when you end up getting the other side of that coin where it becomes difficult and frustrating and really doesn't make you enjoy what you do. There's definitely that level of it. It's a very emotional game building because often there's a lot of money involved with it and people aren't equipped from a client side to handle that. Stresses things that they're stressed about, I look at it and go, what are you talking about? Like, that's nothing. It's just another day. This is what happens on every single project. But for them, it's their whole world. And it's like, everything's falling apart and this, and you're not doing this and that. And that's how it's going wrong. I said, no, this is just nature of the beast. It's what happens. We'll get through it and you move on to the next one. So there is that level.
Isn't that just context though?
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Like I just complained about my chicken and my custard and a fine on my car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there's someone who would love to have those problems.
Love to have them. And this is now the coaching side of stuff where we come in and start being motivational speaker, George and Robby, because you get to have all of these problems. You don't have to have them. How lucky are you? Your brand new car, which is 12 months old, that it has an engine light on it, that people would love, that would do anything to have that car. You can just call up Ford and say, hey, sort out your shit. My car's not working. Give me another one. I'll drop it off in the morning. You're fine. Oh, how good are you? Lucky you don't have to fight a war tomorrow and you get to have a fine on your car. Your food, how lucky you get to eat. And make that food.
I also think it's very... I like to look at it differently, personally.
Yeah. Differently in what way?
Okay, so to say like how lucky are you to have food? Like everyone has food. It's not 1500. Do you know what I mean? Hey, it might get like that.
Yeah, who knows?
By the way.
Yeah.
For real.
I was having a chat with someone about it yesterday. They were talking about like people aren't spending money anymore. Everyone's like real tightening up the purse strings. I said, you just wait till people start losing their jobs. You know, when that happens, especially, you know, we're talking about AI agents and all that sort of stuff. You just wait until people start going, you know, how the fuck do I make money? Where do I get my next job from?
But they won't.
What do you mean? In this country? No, there could definitely be a recession where people start to lose their shit there.
There's 100%.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's coming.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's going to get tougher. I feel that element of where we're at now is coming. You know, you're going to need to be able to deal with these things. Look, here's the thing, right? You can always sit there and feel sorry for yourself. So I get annoyed at being annoyed, you know? Like, oh, fucking hell, this. Like, no, fuck it, man. Like, this isn't going to control me. Let's go. I'll make another custard.
What's control you?
Like the problem that you're in right now. So fuck, I boiled my custard. Cool, I'll make another one. I got more eggs. I got more cream. I got more honey. I'll make more. It'll take me fucking 15 minutes. Throw it out, do it again. So not being...
You reckon custard takes 15 minutes?
Come on, man. How long does it take? Your custard
You got to
takes
cook it for
like
45 minutes.
What's going on? This is bullshit.
In 2025.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
Um,
Look, don't you just get out of a packet and put it in the microwave or something?
I wish.
Fuck.
That was a real deal. Real guy.
I'm a real guy. Of course you are. Of course you are. This isn't AI Robby talking. But there's a level of me, like that's where I sort of look at it from that perspective too. I don't let the situation control me. I control it. And that often helps me get through a lot of things. Something that you said to me the other day, just a few days ago, last week, when we went to Adelaide for a...
Sydney.
No, Sydney, sorry, yeah. Went to Sydney for our Globetrotters. What a life. What a life.
Vegas.
Went to Sydney, yeah, Vegas. We've done some miles, got some frequent fly points. And we're in Sydney and we're doing some events and we're talking on the way back. And I was saying, we're talking about work and business. And I was saying how I was getting shitty at certain things. And you gave me some really good advice. It's like, that's a Pascon problem. That's not a you problem. Separating yourself from the actual issue. The business is having that challenge, not you. The business has to deal with that, not you. And even though I said I'm the one fixing the problem, it was still good to have that separation from the two. Because no, that's a business problem. That's got nothing to do with me. When I'm at home, it's not my problem. When I'm with my friends or here doing this podcast, that's not my problem. That's the business problem. We just need to put systems and processes in place to solve and resolve those problems. But that was a good disconnect for me when we were talking about that.
Yeah, but I think you could go one step further. Like you just said, my clients pay me. They don't pay you.
Yeah, that's right. Pascon. That's correct.
Do you know what I mean?
That's 100% correct.
Yeah,
it's Pascon's money. It's not mine.
Yeah, yeah. And then you happen to be a shareholder and an employee of Pascon.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah, people have failed to make... That was a big insight for myself.
Yeah, me too.
Really helped.
And so again, fucking 10 years in business, and it's really the first time I've looked at it like that. So it was good to have that disconnect. Yeah, so there's always going to be difficulties. And you know what? Man, there's harder times coming. Of all the shit that you're going through right now in your business or whatever, there's going to be even harder times than that to come. And it may not be a professional difficulty. It can also be a personal one. When you get your health... Man, okay. Can I tell this story quickly before you go into that? When did we fly to Sydney? It was Wednesday. Wednesday we flew. So we had an 8 a.m. flight. So that morning I woke up at 1:30 a.m. and my stomach I was in a bit of pain. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. Because so at the moment I've got a hernia and I need to go. I've booked in to get that removed in a couple of weeks. And I woke up in pain. I'm like, what the hell? This is weird. Anyway, I sort of tried to sleep it off. It was getting worse and worse. Took some Panadol, went back to bed, and then it started to really hurt. Like I was sweating. I'm like, right, there's something not right here. So then I had to get in a car, go to the hospital. I was in the hospital at just past 2 a.m. and sitting there waiting for the doctors. They're getting assessed, I'm in triage. I'm waiting in a room. And I actually honestly thought I wasn't making the flight. I thought I'm going in for an op now. This is it. Something's happening. It's not right. They gave me some medication, whatever it might be, and I was there, like in a lot of pain. I've got a decent pain threshold. My wife will think otherwise, but I think I've got a decent pain threshold.
Women have a high pain threshold.
They do. They've got a higher one than men, for sure.
Yeah,
they give birth.
Yeah.
They have to. But look, I don't like pain. Let's be honest. I don't like being in pain. It's not something like, yes, here we go, headache, can't wait.
There's words that have never been said.
Oh, there you go.
But
anyway, so I was there for a good 2 hours. The pain got worse whilst I was in hospital too. I couldn't even lie down. The doctor asked me to lie down at one stage, and I said, I can't lie down. That kills to lie down. So I had to kind of sit up or lean over and just hold in my stomach. They gave me some medication. Anyway, about 2 hours later, it was around 4:10, just all of a sudden, all the pain went away. Like completely. Like as if it never happened.
Drugs are great, aren't they?
Oh man, it was just like the relief. I was like, what the hell? How did that happen? Anyway, then the doctor came in like literally 2 minutes later. He goes, hey, you feeling? I said, mate, you won't believe this. I'm like completely fine. Like it doesn't even hurt. And he's like, okay.
I don't even know why I'm here.
Yeah.
You're like...
He's like, okay, might be this. Anyway, you seem okay. Everything looks okay. He goes, look, just going about your day. You should be fine. So listen, I'm flying to Sydney in a few hours. Am I good to go? He's like, yeah, you should be fine. If anything happens, just go to the hospital again. I said, all right. So anyway, got to that point and I jumped on the plane. I got back home, took an Uber home, got changed, and then caught that same Uber back to the airport. And I was waiting for you there.
Oh, you didn't drive to the hospital?
No, I just took an Uber there because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with cars and shit like that. And Nicole needed to take the kids to school in the morning, so I just left it. So I didn't know what I was going to do. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't want to take the car, whether I had to stay there overnight or what. So anyway, that was difficult. That was painful. That was stressful to a degree. Like I was like, fuck, we're going to have to cancel the tour. I'm not going to be able to how am I going to do the event? I'm going to message all the boys, say, don't go to the hospital, don't go to the airport yet. We may not be going.
I didn't Jerry until later that day as to why you had sent me a message saying, call me before you leave the house. And then you said, actually, don't worry, all good.
Yeah.
I just thought you'd forgotten something.
Yeah.
That was my whole, when I saw both messages, because I didn't see it until after I woke up.
Did you see the time that I sent it though?
It was like 40 minutes difference or something.
No, what time the first message came? The first message would have come at like 3 a.m.
I think it was 4 or something.
Oh, was it? Remember. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it was early.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't think anything of it.
No.
I was half asleep also.
Yeah. But I'd sent that because I thought, well, fuck, I don't want them to go to the airport and go to Sydney and then we have to cancel the event.
Oh, it was 3 a.m.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen at that time. So, a lot of people would have just given, no, I'm not going to go. I'm just going to go stay home. I'm going to rest. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to just chill out. But, you get to, when you have a health problem, we're talking about there's going to be worse things in the world that happen. Like at that moment, I wasn't thinking about the reports I had to do for PASCON. Do you know what I mean? Didn't even come into mind. Even the event we had that next day, I was like, all right, I'll cancel it.
Yeah.
Big fucking deal. I'll do it next week, or I'll change the date, or I'll say, sorry, here's a refund. See you in 3 months, or we'll credit you. Like it wasn't even a thing on my radar. The one thing that I was focused on was getting better. I was there with the doctor, say, hey, cut me up. Let's go. Stop fucking around.
Fix this.
That's it. Fix this. Get rid of this problem. So there are going to be stresses and things that come up in the future that are going to be significantly worse than what you're going through your battles in business. I promise you that. Whether it's your own health or whether it's the health of others or a death in the family or friends, whatever it might be, there's going to be worse days. And the funny thing is, your ability to cope with the stress here is probably going to give you some mental calluses when those other bad days happen as well. To a degree.
Yeah, a level of, not grit, but a level of like an ability to be able to deal with what is.
I think Jordan Peterson said this. It's like you should be the strongest person at your parents' funeral.
I don't think he's doing well.
Who, Jordan? In what way?
I think he's all. Did you see that that recent one Christian versus 20 atheist thing?
I saw parts of it, yeah.
He got grilled about that.
I saw parts of it.
Absolutely grilled.
Did he?
He's getting schooled by 18-years.
Yeah. Oh, so he didn't. He
just wasn't handling himself.
Yeah, he didn't deal the arguments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch all of
it? Bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, I've seen little parts. I suppose the parts I saw were when he probably answered it really well. Do you know what I mean? Because they tend to be more based on his point of view than the other one.
Yeah, but nonetheless, a very smart man.
They did that with Charlie Kirk as well.
Yeah, he's a good debater.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, touching on the AI thing, you spoke about how things are going to get worse. I heard this thing the other day, and I'll share it because I thought it was. I've been consuming a lot around this, like a lot, and there's some different theories. People think this is going to be the greatest thing ever. Like it's just new jobs are going to come up, and it's just another revolution. And there's other people who think there's that aspect, and then there's a complete opposite, which is like this can be the end of humanity. Do you know what I mean? And I looked at my plant the other day. I got a plant in my corner of my apartment. Real plant, alive.
Not plastic.
I don't give a fuck about it. I'm serious. I don't care. If it died, I would throw it out. I would be inconvened at the fact that I had to throw it out.
That's right. You have to walk to the trash.
Yeah. I wouldn't be upset. My life wouldn't change. AI is going to feel like that about us. It's going to be like, this guy, you're dead. You need to eat again. Do you know what I mean? You know how much I've done in the last 4 hours? And you want to eat again? And it's like, this guy said this thing. This guy, I watched a podcast of him. His name is Mo Gaudat. He used to be some C-suite guy at Google. And I reckon if you saw him, you'd recognize him. He's quite a... He's really smart.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, bald dude.
Yes, bald guy. Oh, and with a beard.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't then. That's all right. I'll figure it out.
If you saw him, I reckon you'd recognize him. And he's got some cool videos out. Like he lost his son at a young age. Like he lost his son when he was like 3.
Yeah, that's fucked.
And
so that
shares a story about
that's
that.
the sort of thing that I don't think, touch wood, man. I don't know how I don't think I would cope. I don't know how. You'd have to, but I don't know. I don't know how it would be for me.
It'd be rough.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like one of those things. Even, dude, like, okay. How does an 85-year-old cope when they bury their 6-year-old son?
Yeah. I think that would be devastating too. And I've seen that.
That's worse.
I've seen that happen. I was at a funeral last year, the year before, and it was the exact scenario. It was an 80-year-old parent or whatever it was with their 60-year-old daughter.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And then you look, and it's like, okay.
I don't think that would change, man. I don't think as a parent, I don't care. I don't think it matters what age you are.
Yeah, it doesn't make it. Yeah. It's not like, oh, well, at least
60 are good weekend.
Yeah.
That's all right. I did okay.
But more so from the aspect of like, you really knew this person. Like you really, 60? Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like we haven't even lived that long. And it's like,
it's another lifetime.
You're almost there, but.
Closer than you.
Oh, look, it's a privilege to get there, right?
Yeah.
Like it's an honor almost, but it's like, how do you do that? How does and then like at 85, it's almost like you're probably fed up with the world already. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like this happens. Like, how do you experience that and not be sour about it?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? Whereas at least with a kid, he look into his videos. He's a really cool guy. And he explains it in a way where he's like, he came and did his thing and left. Like he came and he showed us, he taught me this and that. And he went, and that's what he was destined to do. And it's just a very good perspective.
Yeah.
And he talks about AI. He's big in the AI space and that. And he's like, he goes, people don't understand. He goes, right now, he goes, we know this is smarter than everyone. He goes, they're calling the power godlike. Godlike. Now, he goes, what people aren't thinking about is the first time they integrate this into a human, like the first time they say, hey, George, we're going to wire you directly to AI. So your IQ is going to go from 120 to 4,000 instantly. He goes, that person's not going to allow anyone else to do it. Because if I gave you godlike powers, you're going to stop everyone else from having it. Because you're not going to want anyone to have the same ability that you do. Yeah, so the second we connect one person with it, there's a good chance that person is going to convince everyone else that it's not. You know what I mean? Whether they act like they're getting, like, you know what I mean? Like they'll find a way to manipulate everyone else to stop everyone else from getting it. And dude, there's that theory. There's the theory of, you know, China versus the US, and whoever hits it first, the other one will nuke the fucking planet. Be like, cool, you think you're going to fucking take over the world with your... There's this theory of life's going to become, it's going to be utopia. And it's going to be like, hey, you know, AI doing everything. We don't need to work anymore. Don't need to do anything. Like, you want the house built, it's free. Whatever you want. You know what I mean? This is like, it's like The Sims.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. You want that meal? Of course. The robot chef will make it for you for free. We have abundance of chickens and abundance of meat and whatever you want. Yeah. And it's all managed by this thing. And they are so smart. They've worked out how to make everything free, and energy's free. And you know what I mean? We've got infinite cattle, and we've now become a multiplanetary species, and everything is just more than you can do. You get to focus on your passions. You know what I mean? You get to literally do whatever you want. You want to become a painter? Of course you can become a painter. You don't have to make money anymore. you can go and paint all day, every day and just practice that skill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then become an artist or become whatever you want to be. And then there's the other side of that of like, people are going to have no purpose, no vision, no nothing. There's like suicide rates are going to skyrocket because we're going to go through dystopia.
Well, what's the video you sent me the other day from Gary Vaynerchuk?
About marrying an AI.
Mm.
Yeah, look, it's weird.
You know,
it's definitely weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
You reckon?
You don't reckon?
Well, there's people out there now marrying objects. Now, obviously, they have some mental disorders. Right?
Yeah.
They marry planes and chairs and shit like that, and they have that connection with it. But in saying that, if you can get a robot, okay, to look as human as possible, to function as human as possible, like there's movies on it, and then you plug it into an AI and you talk to it and you can have proper conversations with it. It knows you intimately in many different levels. You may not be able to legally marry it, but there'll be a level of people connecting with it. Sorry?
So why?
He was just saying, it just makes it just interesting to see because I think people will go down that path. Look, it's still weird. Don't get me wrong. I think it's odd. But they will say it's 100% it's weird. But I'm just saying he reckons that it will happen. Like as soon as the next generation happen, where people are going to be will be getting into relationships with robots.
Yeah, I think people are still failing to comprehend how fast this is going to move.
Yeah, without a doubt they are.
Yeah, no, like everyone, us included.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think about it at all yesterday.
There you go, yeah.
At all, not even once. So it's definitely not, although I'm interested in it.
Not once?
Not once yesterday.
Wow, it's been so on the top of my mind, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like so, I probably consume 2 hours of AI content every day. Like on my way to work, on my way home, at home, in the morning. I've sometimes got stuff playing on my TV in the office.
Yeah.
Every day.
It's full on.
It is. But you know what an AI wouldn't do?
What's that?
It wouldn't fuck up custard. It wouldn't.
It'd be waiting. It'd know.
Yeah.
In 45 minutes, they'd know they'd have to turn the oven off.
It wouldn't lay down on the couch and get distracted on Instagram and then go have a shower.
But it could also watch Instagram at the same time and know that the custard still needed to be out of the oven.
What a fuck up.
And it could do everything. Ruined your evening. But you got a good night's sleep in a nice warm bed.
Sure.
What a life.
That's one way to look at it.
It is. So, all these hard days are coming. They will be here. What are you going to do next time you have this annoying day?
Go to bed.
Each and every time?
Well, what would you do? Different.
What if it's 12 p.m. and all these things happen?
Go to bed.
Just go to bed. Hang up the boots.
What would you do?
What would I do? Sometimes the work is the way. So tend to, if whatever's bothering me, work on that. Get through that.
So like make more custard?
Yeah, make more custard. Or if it's at work and I'm doing a work-related thing that's pissing me off, cool, let's get this thing done. Because as soon as I finish this, the issue's gone.
Okay, but like, so a client called you about something.
Yeah.
And then that's it. What are you going to do now? Client called you about something, pissed you off?
Yeah.
What are you going to do now? You can't, it's not waiting on you.
That's
anymore.
right. It's just there.
Yeah.
The thing is, and that's where, I don't know.
And now you're waiting on them to get back to you.
Yeah.
And
That's
you're just
annoying.
sitting there. Yeah.
That irritates me.
What's the...
Well, then again, whether
What's the
you know how
fix
we said it's a Pascon problem, isn't it? Or it's
Yeah.
builder elite problem.
But it's, yeah, but so, okay. It is a Pascon problem.
Yeah.
But who solves Pascon problems?
That's right. I do. That's what I was saying to you the other day in the plane as well.
No, but that's not, it's different. You were taking something personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I was
it's still...
saying that's a Pascon issue, not a you issue.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yes,
but
yes,
you
yes.
still,
yes.
the problem's still yours to solve.
Yeah,
it's not going to solve itself.
That's right.
But it's not an attack on George, it's an attack on Pascon.
No, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's different.
But even then, it's still an attack on Pascon. But as I said, it's me that has to fix that problem. It's still the pressure and the stress. It would still bother me either way. Like I know what I'm like. Like even if my really good client called me up. Sometimes again, I see it as, I think I can control situations pretty well. I think I'm a pretty good person when it comes to dealing with people. I think I've got some good people skills. I'm influential, I'm logical, and I kind of solve the problem in that regard. So a lot of the time I look at them and I go, cool, well, what's their actual problem? Why are you actually annoyed? And then I'll try and sort that out right then. Like if they called me up in a flurry, in a stress, in this, and said, hey, we got this. Like, what are you stressed about? I'll actually ask them. I said, what are you actually stressed about right now? Oh, this is over budget. Okay, but we can make it under budget. You just don't get gold-plated toilets. Like, what do you want to do? How do you want to solve this? Maybe it's just and I said, like, if you can solve a problem with money, it's not a problem. It's an expense. All right, so cool. Maybe I pay half, you pay half. Will that make you feel better? Yeah. Okay, cool. Done. So I often look at it like that too. I'll try and resolve that issue before it becomes like why avoid that whole issue? Like, no, let's resolve it now. I've had these conversations this week, and it's Tuesday. Yesterday, I was speaking to even last week, I was speaking to a carpenter, and he's like, oh, this, and he was cracking the shit. I said, oi, okay, what you're doing right now isn't going to resolve the problem. You acting this way and doing this and acting this way, you're going to do one of two things. You're going to go on site, you're going to do something stupid, and I go, it's going to cost you time and it's going to cost you money. I go, or between you and me right now, we can just resolve it and get it done. And he calmed down. He's like, yeah, okay, all right, well, let's do this. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. You happy with that? Yes, I am. Cool. Move on. Now, I could have very easily gone the other way. Do whatever the fuck you want. Fuck you. You want to fuck around? And find out. Go for it. Go to site. Go rip out the frame. Go break this window. Go do this. Go show how tough you are. And you'll see what happens. And then you're just prolonging or making that issue worse or bigger or whatever it might be. So I often feel, again, in that situation, the work is me actually having that conversation. It may not be me physically working, doing a report, sending an email, whatever it might be. It might be just, no, let's have the conversation now. That's the work. Let's go through that and get through that. And I find that most people work with me, especially because I'm not afraid to swallow my pride either. Cool. If I need to take a step back, if I need to spend money, if I need to do what I need to do to get through that, that's fine. I'm cool with that. And I reckon most people relate to that. But I have dealt with unreasonable people too, where there's just no reason to them. There is no reasoning with them. And those people you just got to cut out of your life. 100% cancerous. I've had clients like that. And I'm glad I did, because now if ever I have another client like that, I know to walk away sooner because I know the signs. I'll see the signs. But again, before I even engage a new client, I'm looking for these things. I'm seeing what they're going to be like, how they're interacting during contract signing, what they're doing during negotiations, everything. I'm assessing whether they are going to be a good fit for us from day one to try and avoid those issues in the future.
So you didn't answer the question.
I just went about it in a really long-winded way.
Yeah. What would you do?
With the difficult client that just called me up?
No, that's not what I asked. I said, what would you do if you had a bad day? That was what you asked.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What would I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a shitty day.
Okay, so depending what it is, I try and work through it if I can. Yeah. I find that pushing through the problem,
but some problems
I feel better. I know. So when they're not. Yeah, or the week.
Yeah.
Right? I was speaking
so you had a shitty day today. A bunch of stuff went wrong, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I was speaking to an employee the other day. He's like, oh, this is going wrong. I say, oh, you'll be done in 3 weeks. Keep going. Like, what are you fucking around? Just keep going. Don't let it. You've got 3 weeks of hard work. Yes, it's going to be hard. But in the fourth week, you'll be like, how good. All right, but get it done today. Move on. So there is still that matter. It doesn't have to be resolved in that first day. The other thing is, sometimes I need to, personally, I'll need to just get out of my own head and out of my own space, because I don't want to go home and bring that energy home either. Right, so I'm protective of that. So whether that means you got to go to the gym, you got to go for a walk, you got to listen to music, meditate, fucking breath work, whatever you need to do. Do I do that all the time? No. But I often find that even just, it could mean just calling a friend, It could mean I don't mind going for a walk and just clearing my head for a bit. Months ago, I had one of those days, and I went downstairs and I had dinner by myself in the restaurant next door. And it was just, I turned my phone off or I put it on Do Not Disturb and I just ate. Didn't even pick it up for go on Instagram, nothing. I just sat there by myself. I ordered as much food as I possibly could. So I was really satisfied and full. And man, I went home feeling 10 times better. 10 times better. So I think in moments like that, when you cannot solve the problem, when the stress is there, when the issues are there, doing something to remove yourself from that helps me anyway.
Change your environment.
Yeah, absolutely. A change of environment for sure.
Which is what I went to do. I went to leave.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just going to get out of here. Just going to go.
And I think that's the right call. And they continued with you thereafter.
I took everything with me.
Yeah.
I was like,
it can even be an issue, say, at home with your partner. Like, leave. Don't leave like forever, but go for a walk. Do you know what I mean? Say, hey, I got to go for a drive. I'm going to go ride my bike. I'm going to take the dog for a walk. We need 30 minutes an hour to just chill the fuck out. I'm going. Because if we keep going down this path, one of us is going to say something we're going to regret. Here's the thing. It's like your focus determines your reality too. You're having a shitty day. You're going to walk around. Like, okay, say you had an amazing day all day and then you got to your car and there was a parking ticket. You'd be like, fuck's sake. But it wouldn't have ruined your day. But because you had such a shitty day, you looked at that parking ticket. Oh, the engine light. Oh, the fucking custard. Oh, the barbecue. If it was just one of those things, would you really been that annoyed? Probably not. If you had a really good day prior. So your focus does determine your reality. And arguably, had you had a really good day, you probably wouldn't have forgotten about the custard.
Yeah,
Or maybe you would have been like, I haven't changed your gas bottle in a while. Could be pretty low.
I remember thinking about the gas bottle.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Recently.
So had you been in a different state.
But so how do you fix that? I've never ever known how to solve that problem. I just knew that I'm going to get caught out one day.
Like with the gas bottle?
Yeah.
Oh, you buy a spare. But it's a bit hard for you.
Have 2 full gas bottles sitting there. That's a lot of gas.
A lot of gas.
Yeah.
I do. My barbecue ran out of gas as well, like 2 nights ago on the weekend, and I had a spare in the garage. So I did have a spare. I've also got a patio heater, which worst case scenario, I can pull that out and plug it in. I've got 3 gas bottles. But yeah, it's having a spare. Or, like after a couple of months, hey, my gas bottle's getting pretty low. You change it before it's empty.
And give away
no.
for free.
That's it. That's it. Or you just live life on the edge, and one day you're going to run out of gas, and you got to be happy with it.
Well, last time it happened, I just
laugh.
Unhooked the bottle, ran to the car, threw it in, and went straight to Bunnings and changed it over and came back.
And recooked your food.
Yeah, I hadn't started cooking.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's
so I went to heat it up.
Yeah.
And
and it ran
ready.
out.
Yeah, and it ran out. And I was like,
lucky.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Mm.
It was annoying at the time because I had to now stop and I'm not going to eat for another 30 minutes.
Yeah. Or just order pizza. Came with pizza night.
That was very close to
that's what I thought the story was going to go. The fact that you took the kitchen out, the chicken out and cooked it again.
Yeah, I was so close to even when I was talking
grab the chicken, throw it off the balcony. So yeah, there is a level of disconnect, I think, when you do have those difficult times. Helps me anyway. And then you've got all the other stuff. Like if it's a continuous thing, well, do you need to practice gratitude? Do you need to start shifting your focus? Is the issue that bad that you need to remove yourself from it altogether? Like is work, do you hate coming? No, I'm saying from the perspective, do you hate work every fucking day?
Me?
No, I'm saying if it got to like a person, if you hated what you did every single day and you're still going there every single day and you're realizing that's don't want to go to work. Every day is a shit day.
That's a horrible feeling.
It'd be very bad.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Imagine that. You hate going to work every single day. Then you have a level of responsibility there. It is your fault. It is your fault 100% that you're in that mood and that what else? I don't know anything else. I'm a mechanic. I don't know what else to do. Oh, fucking become a florist. Okay? Become a florist. Whatever makes you happy. Go get a job as a checkout chick for a little while. I had a mate, I think I may have shared this story before, but I had a mate, did construction management at RMIT because it made a lot of money when you went out into the real world. And
lots of people do that, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but he did it like he was that way inclined. He's like, I'll make good money. I'll be sweet. So did his construction management degree. He was a year below me at RMIT. And then he went and got a job, and it was at a tier 2 construction company, and they just worked him. Day one, they just gave it to him. They worked him so hard that he ended up hating, and he was getting paid well, but he hated every single day that he went into the office. He hated it. Didn't want anything to do with it. So much so that he quit, and he went and worked. He loved fish. Like, he loved fishing. He had an aquarium at home, and he went and worked at an aquarium, a retail shop, an aquarium for 2 years. And he fucking loved it. He went fishing whenever he wanted. He got to feed fish. He got to fucking eat fish. Like, it was the greatest time.
You got to feed fish and eat fish.
What a life.
So it's feeding himself.
It's feeding himself. But he wasn't eating fish from the aquarium. That'd be freaky. But he went, he'd take his weekends and he'd go fishing all week. He bought a little tinny. He went out on the beach and would fish, and it was his happy place. He wasn't making the same money he was, but fuck, he was a completely different person. And then he came back to the industry. Again, he did. 2 years later, he goes, all right, I'm going to come back, give it another go. But he found the right company, and he's been working ever since. When I say ever since, it's been over 10 years now. Like, he's been working, and he's fine. He enjoys his job. He's having a really good time. And I think that's a great example. Like, he was able to remove himself from that and go, fuck that. I'm just going to go work at an aquarium for 2 years. And just whatever. It may not have even been that aquarium. It's just do something different, because it is your fault. If you hate what you do every single day and you continue to do it, if you hate carpentry and you're there and you're hammering nails, it's cold today. Like, it was raining this morning and it's cold, it's windy, and you don't like that, and that's you every single day, remove yourself. Remove yourself from it. Don't be scared. Okay? Because it's much worse to stay in that mental state than what it is to move out and go do something else.
What are you going to do what would you do if you had to leave and you're like, I just need to go and do something not for money? What would you do?
Play video games.
Would you really?
I don't know. If it wasn't for money, I don't think it would be one specific thing. I'm going to be like, I'm going to be painting or just boating or... Yeah, boat. I mean, that could be fun. Like, I do a whole range of things. Just as in, I've got unlimited money, or I just
Money's
we don't get. It's not an object.
I think people have, like, we are so accustomed to what money is that we don't understand a world without it.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it?
You're like, what do you mean?
Everything's free.
How do you get stuff?
Yeah,
well, everything's free.
What would I do? Look, there'd be a level of me saying, almost a stay-at-home dad. But that's only going to be for a little while. The kids are getting older now, so they're not going to really want a dad at home, and they're at school.
You still have to do something.
Yeah. I don't know.
What are you going to do all day?
Don't know. I would probably do something outdoors, like sports of some sort, water sports. Like, I like boating. I like fishing.
How many times have you been fishing in the last years?
I haven't been fishing. Oh, no, actually, April. Went fishing, caught 3 fish off a pier.
2 months ago?
Yeah.
How many times before that?
Probably years. Does a trout farm count?
Yeah.
Okay, a couple of years.
It does.
A couple of years. Took the kids to a trout farm once.
Fresh water?
Yeah, freshwater fish isn't great eating.
No fish is great eating.
Nah, there is good fish out there. Good fish. I like salmon. Not salmon. No, good salmon. Like Atlantic salmon's nice. Snapper's nice too.
Okay. Not a big fish guy.
I've heard.
Full food.
I've heard.
I'll eat it, but like, it's not I'll never sit there like,
oh good. Yes, I do something outdoors, I reckon. Outdoor type activities. Could be even, like, I enjoy driving.
Do you do much of that now?
No, not heaps. Oh, I mean, I do during summer, yeah. With the water sports, I do a fair bit of that. But during winter, not as much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm.
I think it's gonna be one of those things where you're gonna be required to do more of that.
That's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. You got to prioritize that too. You know, it's, you know, I'm a big believer in working hard and pushing yourself and doing everything you possibly can. And I hate this concept of work-life balance as well. I teach it at trainings. I genuinely believe it. I don't think there's any such thing as work-life balance, and people trying to maintain this work-life balance, having 50% work and 50% life. It's just not something, an equation that you should be trying to go for, because it's never going to be that. It's never going to be 50-50. You need to be focusing on what's the main priority at that time. And sometimes it is work, and you're going to have to be 80-20. You're going to have to work like an animal for a set amount of time. The problem that a lot of business owners particularly find themselves in is that that work-life balance is work for 10 years, and they forget about the life. They forget to take the holidays. They forget to take the time out, and there's just one battle to the next battle, and it's like all blends into one, and before you know it, 10 years is over. So you really need to make that conscious effort to set the time aside for your life and for things that you want to achieve in your business. In your personal life. And, you know, a really good thing that I like, that I've seen, that I try to do, is almost plan out your holidays at the start of the year for the year. So what are you going to do this year? What holidays are you going to go on? Are you going to do an overseas trip? Are you going to go little day trips, weekends, long public holidays, long weekends, all that sort of stuff? Plan your trips at the start of the year. And that way you always have something that you can look forward to, whether it's once a quarter or one really big 3-month holiday, whatever it's going to be. I think that's critically important to being successful in business and in life, because during those holidays, you are then focusing on the life. And it doesn't mean you can't do both, because there's times, especially as business owners, there's times when I've been on holidays, I'm like, fuck, got to get the laptop out. Oh, fuck. I said, hey, I got to get the laptop out. And my wife knows that. I said, hey, like, world doesn't stop because we're at the beach. Okay, go to the pool with the kids. I'll be there in an hour. I have to send these emails. I have to do this pay run. I have to do such and such. And then you can have that blend of the two as well. I think that's going to be pretty important, but no such thing as work-life balance, work-life priority.
I agree.
What would you do if money wasn't an issue? Like what sort of stuff would you be doing?
You know what my biggest concern about this whole thing is?
About which?
The whole money not being a thing.
Mm.
I'll never get to be a billionaire.
Mm.
Like it's going to get taken away from me, the opportunity.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a fuck.
Damn, didn't do it.
Might actually be running out of time.
Yeah. How funny. How funny.
Like that might be the part of life.
Be a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might actually happen. And then it's like, well, you had X amount of years and you didn't get it done.
Do you reckon you'd be shitty if you were a billionaire and then all of a sudden money didn't matter?
No, like, so are you shitty if you're a billionaire and other people start winning?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think most billionaires wouldn't be.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And I think the skills that equipped you to get to that point, you're going to have with you forever.
Forever, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know. Maybe you would look at other suckers and be like, like a lot of elderly people look at the younger generation and think you pricks. Yeah, maybe you would, because you think you guys had it easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had to fight for this. I had to work 23 hours a day. And now you all just get what you want. I would be pissed off, 100%. I'm pissed off now.
So what would you do?
Huh?
What would you do if money wasn't an issue?
I would do 2 things. This is my plan for
when AI takes over and money's an issue. And we're in utopia.
If that happens, it's not guaranteed. But if it does go down that route, it's one of the highly possible routes. Because think about, people haven't fathomed that the way life came together, right? So at the start it was survival. You just need to go and eat, just go and eat. And then it was like, hey man, I started gathering supplies. Now we do this thing, got all these berries. This guy's got this fish. I went and traded him some fish, some berries. And then it was like, okay, cool. The whole trading game or bartering started. And then it was like, he had this, you had that. They created a universal currency, which is what money is. So it was survival, and then it was like, cool, now we have this original thing that we can, it kind of makes the trading game more even. It's called money or currency. And then it was like, cool, well, having money is really useful. I need people to do stuff. I need labor. So come work for me and I'll give you, in exchange, I'll give you some money because we're able to create some sort of goods, product or service and go and exchange that for money, and I'll give you a percentage of that based on you being a worker for me. If all that other aspect goes away, like everything in life is handled, the buildings are being built, the food is being generated, the farming is done, everything is all done. Money, why would money exist? You know what I mean? Even energy. They get so good at making sure that we can live off the solar, like that we get so good at generating all our power from the sun that it's like, why do we need to
pay for that?
Or we can pay for it and it costs fuck all and the government covers the cost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, that's it. And then that's universal basic income. Back to the question, when that happens, I'll do three things. I'll do a lot of, I'll have something like this. Like I'll probably sit down and talk to people because I like having interesting conversations. So I will probably podcast just because I want to see that. I think people will always, it'll get to the point people want to watch people.
Yeah. Go the other way around.
So I think that will be a thing. I think I could be wrong about that completely. And that completely contradicts what I said at the start about YouTube. The other thing is I would game professionally.
Gain professionally?
Game.
Oh, game.
Game.
Yeah.
I would game professionally. I would go and compete in FIFA comps.
Yeah.
And school the world. And then
some serious
I would just go do some outdoor. Well, you can have all the time in the world.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I would just do outdoor stuff. Like I'd probably travel Australia or go to the US and travel the US and just go hunting. And imagine going hunting. You know how they have dogs? Imagine having an AI dog.
Yeah.
You're like, get him. You know what I mean? And this thing chases the fucking deer down. And I would just do that. I'd just go hunting, fishing, outdoors. And that's it. What else are you going to do? You know what I mean? Have interesting conversations with people.
That's it.
Live your life.
What a life. Well, bit of time will still pass between now and then, and we're living in a world of utopia.
I think it is way sooner than people think.
That'd be cool.
Like everyone's thinking, it's like 20 years away, 100 years. It's like, it's not, man. It's like the world's going to be a different place in 2 years.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting because I would love to play back episodes like this and say, hey, we said it then, look at where it's at now.
Yeah. And
because
I said it on stage the other day. So I'm saying this for two reasons. One, I hope someone takes action. And two, I want to be able to say I'm right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want to be able to say I told you so.
Yeah, but imagine 2 years ago when we first started doing events and we were like, who's heard of ChatGPT before? And like 1 or 2 people put their hands up. Like who's ever used it? And it's like less. And now it's like everyone has it as an app on their phone. Everyone uses it. Young, old, they're all asking chat to do things for them.
Do you have the app?
Yes, I do.
Do you talk to it?
I've not as much.
Have you ever just had a conversation in the car?
Yeah, I did. I have, yes. Yes. I remember talking about personal branding and just having a conversation back and forth with it whilst I was driving somewhere. But then I didn't continue the conversation thereafter. But I could always pick it up from that same conversation.
It'd be weird if you kept the conversation going. You're like, 1 sec, bro. And you're on the phone to an AI agent.
Yeah. So, no, it is. It's cool. There's a level of that I like. I mean, who was it? Ty Lopez was big on that, where he goes, I'll just drive somewhere and I'll have a 45-minute conversation with the AI and just come up with ideas for business, for networking, for whatever it might be. He goes, I have all these conversations all the time.
Yeah.
It becomes like a companion. And I'm finding, like, when you'll ask Siri to do things or stuff like that, it's not as responsive as what ChatGPT is, though.
Siri's not an AI.
It's not. It's more just a phone program.
Yeah. Siri says, "Do you want me to look that up on ChatGPT?"
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's not an LLM.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's not the same.
Excellent. All right. Well, another episode down. What a day. What a chat. I think really important because we're all going to experience stresses in our lives. And I think you need to have mechanisms to be able to cope with those things. So whatever it might be for you, whether it's practicing gratitude, whether it's an element of you removing yourself from the situation altogether, taking responsibility at the end of the day and actioning that. Because if you are put into a bad mood, it's not necessarily your fault. But if you stay in a bad mood, it can very well be your fault. So take the action and just be happy. Smile. What a life.
And make some custard.
Make heaps of custard. Oh, make a custard and send it to Robby, please.
Hey, I'm making a pizza dough now. It's been resting in my fridge for, I don't know, 2 days already.
Shit.
It's going to be sick. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Another video coming.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.